following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Oh, look who we have.
It's a beautiful day. Look at our man, Jim from Minneapolis. We gonna take him by storm?
Taking it by storm, baby.
I love that. That's a great saying, man. Hey, what's happening, brother?
Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing today?
Good, man. Yourself?
Oh, man. It's been the most incredible couple of days since when I called in on Friday, Litecoin busted out of that consolidation on the 2-hour chart.
Okay.
And it just never looked back. It did a 100-point ABC up, and now it's very extended the way I look at it. But holy, I mean, it went up to $420 last night.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 7.5 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF, folks. Let's make it a great one. And the markets are closed Monday, which is, for all of us in the market, it's a beautiful thing. Be impeccable with your word. Manifest your true intentions. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent will be manifested through the word. What you dream, what you feel, and what you really are be manifested through what you say each and every day. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We have the Dow Industrials down 89. NASDAQ is flat. S&P's off 5.5. Gold contract up $6.80, trading at $15.85 an ounce. Silver up 9 cents, $17.71 an ounce. Light sweet crude up 61 cents, $52.03 a barrel. Notes and bonds. You got the 10-year up 7 ticks, trading 131. 30-year up 17 ticks at 162.13. And King Dollar up 57 ticks, trading 99.125. The euro is at 108. The pound is at 130, and the yen is at 109.77 to $1 US. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at it. What do you have? We have another day. We have another week. We have another all-time high. Inside the SPY out here today, what we did, let's see. The high yesterday was 338.12. We got the 337.73, but I believe the cash actually went to a new high. No, it didn't. So it just missed the new high. So the high thus far was going to be yesterday. If we put this on a weekly basis, what you're going to see out here is that the bottom line is that you're getting away from the breakout area in the cash S&P, in the S&P in general. The breakout area there is 33.37. Right now we're at 33.71. NDX 100, which continues to be the leader out here. We take a look at the Qs. Qs made a high today of 234.86. The high yesterday was 234.93. So there's no doubt that just about made it. You can see, if you happen to be watching Tiger TV, you can see how this volume is contracting in a dramatic way. What we did on Tuesday on the Qs, you did 30 million shares. Wednesday, you did 24 million. Thursday, you did 22 million. And we'll see whether you can even get to 20 million today, or at 16 million. So you do have as the bottom line is that you continue to push higher. The volume continues to contract. You know, I just put this on a weekly, and you can see on a weekly, you know, we had gone down slightly 2 weeks ago with 189 million. We went up last week with 143, and this week we're going to have about 120. And NVDA, which is one of the ones that's pushing the NDX 100 higher today. This is a classic. You know, if we were listening to the program yesterday, you're going to see it was a confirmed ABC structure on the way up. Bottom line is that we were talking about this last couple of days, actually. It had taken the B point out of an ABC structure on the way up on Monday. You got over the B point, had the volume. Now, your price projection on this, which was so cool, was $292. We up 19 bucks today. You're at $294. Now, watch this. This is what's going to be intriguing here. So if we put this on a weekly first, what you're going to see is that you're coming into and over the high, the all-time high is 292.76. So on the weekly basis, that had 53 million shares. And you got to remember, what we did in NVIDIA, it was like a disaster. This thing went from $292 straight down to $128, literally 3 months later. Okay, so on the weekly basis, what are you doing? Well, you're coming up with tremendously higher volume. 53 million was the number there. We're doing 74. So the bottom line, don't even think this is equity that is pushing into its highs with tremendously higher volume. Now, in the monthly, it's going to be a different animal. So at the end of this month, we're going to be looking at okay, where is NVIDIA? The reason being is that on a monthly basis, you're talking about 324 million, and even with this acceleration up that we have this week, you're only at 103. So that's telling me the most you're probably going to do is 200 million. So the real kicker is going to be at the end of this month, can you and do you close over 292? Because if you don't close over 292 and your volume continues to basically drop off, you're going to be in a consolidation, which it totally makes sense, by the way. Why? Because this was a one-way run, which NVIDIA loves to do, from a price point of $132, 7 months ago. We went from 132, took it all back to 294, and this is a 100% move of a move. When you do a 100% move of a move, meaning that you've gone down so many points, you go all the way back up. Most of the time, that is the end of that particular move. It has to do something other in order to build more cars to get up and over that level. If we go over to the NQs, the NDX in general, and we take a look at that NDX, what you're going to see as the move is out there, you got Expedia up 11.5%. That's quite a move, too. NVIDIA's up 6.5%. You got Illumina up 2.8%, and you got eBay up 2.5%. The SMHs, so let's take a look at the SMHs, because the SMHs, no doubt, that's what drives the NDX 100, as well as driving the NASDAQ composite. We have with the NDX 100, on a weekly basis, we got to a price point this week, got over the highs. We got to a price point of 150.262. Last high out here was 150. Bottom line on the weekly basis, though, you are over that, and you have volume over that, so that's saying that it'll get tested one more time. On the monthly basis, that's going to be the same setup that we're going to want to be looking at. Why? Because this monthly volume has been contracting in a huge way when we do look at that SMH. But thus far, the bottom line, it got into it on a weekly basis, has some volume as we got into that area. Some of the other higher volume stocks in this market out here today, you got Roku, that came out with numbers last night. That's trading down $8 at 130. You get Smile Direct is getting whacked. That's down $2.50 at $12.80. That stock's in big, big trouble. Lyft is down $2. Inside the Dow Industrials, the strength versus the weakness inside the Dow Industrials out here. We have Visa is the leader out here today. That's up 1%, putting 15 positive points. Home Depot's putting 10. American Express is putting 7. Taken away from it, you get IBM negative 29, United Health negative 29, Boeing negative 22. Stay right there, folks. We're going to be coming back with our man, Mr. Bud Springs. Bud is in the mortgage business. We're going to be talking mortgages. We're going to be talking, of course, percentages. What's the 10-year doing? What's the 30-year doing? What can you get a mortgage for right now? What should you be getting prepared for if you are buying a house? We're coming right back.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow down 117. NASDAQ is down 7.5. S&P's off 850. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Bud Spriggs at the mortgage firm. Bud Spriggs, what's going on?
How you doing, Tom? How's your Friday going?
It's going great, man. It's particularly going great because in this business, we don't get a lot of days off, and we're off Monday.
That's nice. I didn't even know that. I'll be working, but I guess some of the banks and stuff will be closed, right?
That's right. But our man, Mr. Bud Spriggs, is always working out there, folks. That's why I'm getting this guy on right now. You know that we talk a lot about interest rates. We talk a lot about housing. We talk a lot about mortgages. And so, Bud, I'd like to ask you first off, the name of your firm's the mortgage firm. So can you explain to us the difference between a mortgage broker and a direct lender and exactly what the mortgage firm is?
Well, I'll start with the mortgage broker. A broker is signed up to do business with various lenders. So, they may bring a loan in and see where it might fit best, where the pricing might be the best fit, or certain guidelines might be looser or tighter with certain lenders. A lender has their own underwriters, own staff processors. So when I get a loan, I know where I'm taking it. I know where I've got to go to get my answers, and I always have answers at my fingertips.
Nice. Okay, so that definitely makes a difference when people are looking to get money, right?
Correct.
Okay, so, I talk about the note and bond market a lot. So right now we have the 10-year. And I know that mortgage rates come off of the 10-year, basically. So we're at 1.58. Now, when folks, so a 30-year mortgage right now, right, just generic, I'm not whole, you know what I mean? I know different credit. Well, a 30-year mortgage, what is the average 30-year mortgage right now?
Okay, based on loan-to-value credit, stuff like that, you're going to be in the mid to upper threes right now on a 30-year fixed.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Mid to upper threes, right? So. Right. Now, it's really intriguing about it because when I look at this 30-year, right, the 10-year, when I put the 10-year up, now, for all of us that are in this, basically real estate business, this gets pretty interesting because the low is a yield is 1.31, and that's going back to 2016. And it's so interesting that, it looks like this thing wants to basically go after the low. So, we'll see where that basically shakes out. But that is saying that you're going to be doing a lot of refinances because you do refinances also, right?
You refinance and purchase business. Mostly, it's all referral business. I'm not a big outfit myself, so I'm not out there advertising like some of the bigger shops. But rates are low when you hear some of those bigger companies and come on and start advertising with the no closing cost and et cetera. That means rates are low, and they think there's a way to take advantage of it.
Yeah, totally. And folks, now what states can you do business in? Can you do business all over the country? Or is it just Florida, Bud?
I'm licensed in Florida. The mortgage firm is licensed all over. If we had somebody that needed to be taken care of, I could go out there and reach out for them. But myself, if I'm going to handle it, it's got to be in Florida.
Okay, so the folks in Florida, Bud's phone number is 727-798-3888. Okay, so now let's talk, and folks, Bud's helped me many times, okay? What ends up happening when you have your own business, it's a little more complicated getting real estate loans, okay? Because the bottom line is that depending on how many businesses you have, they want those businesses put together with your personals. That being said, Bud, what should people be doing getting ready to get a loan?
Well, like somebody in your situation, self-employed, one business or multiple businesses, you're going to be looking for your tax returns. And, I'll talk to a self-employed individual up front, and I'll get an idea of, what their annual income is. But to really do a deeper pre-approval for them and get them situated, I ask for the tax returns to be sent to me right up front so I can get the income underwritten for them. Somebody that's a W-2, pay stub guy, they pretty much know spot on what they earn. I still ask for that follow-up information, but it's a little clearer, a little easier to get them started. But income documents and assets, and that will get us rolling.
Sure. Now let's talk about, for all you veterans out there, right? Because you definitely want to take advantage of the VA loans, man, as I have, okay? Because walk us through one, because, it's pretty amazing, on a VA loan, you can basically get a loan. What is the higher amount now that you can go up to on a VA loan?
Well, listen, when you and I started off doing business,
yeah,
the VA loan was limited to whatever the conventional limit was at that time.
Okay.
So say I forget what the old one was, maybe $477. Now anything over that on a purchase, if you were buying a home for $577, they would take that $477, and then they would take the $100,000. You just put 25% of that down, and then they added the rest to the loan. It was called a jumbo VA loan.
Right.
And those were out there. Well, just recently, the conventional loan limits went up to $510,400. $510,400.
Yeah.
And something came on and said, okay, you know what? We're no longer going to limit VA loans to that loan amount. In a lot of instances, if you buy a home for $700,000, you can borrow $700,000.
Really?
Yeah.
And will they still cover the closing cost?
Well, your closing costs can always listen. When you hear somebody that's covering their closing costs, and you can always get a couple different quotes. When that's something that's good to touch base on. When people are covering your closing costs,
yeah,
all they're doing is increasing your rate enough that when they sell that loan to Ginnie, Fannie, Freddie, they're getting extra money back, and they're going to give that to you in the form of a lender's credit. Now, VA loans right now, the rates are so low that that's not a bad idea, and a lot of your VA buyers go in with the intentions of really not pulling a lot of money out of their pocket to close. That's always an option.
Now, okay, so let's picture this. Picture this even, in the house that I live in, that the VA loan is on, right? So
right.
On that particular one, right, I would be able to raise up what I could take out, right? That's interesting.
You could now do an increase and get yourself a cash-out loan. That's right, cash-out VA loan.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. It's more interesting, folks, that understanding that, you can get into a house on a VA loan at a very good rate. FHA, that's a good deal too, right?
FHA is still 3.5% down. The rates are normally lower than a conventional loan.
Okay.
And I use FHA when conventional can't be done, or maybe the scores are a little bit lower. Conventional rates are more prone to getting pricing hits as your credit scores go down. FHA also, but not as much.
I see.
And also your mortgage insurance goes up with the lower scores on conventional.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that.
FHA is for maybe weaker credit scores, higher debt ratios.
Okay.
Could be more gift funds needed, things like that.
So what is the definition of a conventional loan then?
Conventional, think of a conventional loan, the way I look at it is a bank loan.
Okay.
That an agency of Fannie and Freddie buy the paper.
Yes.
And back then they had, they started off 20% down and typical bank quality paper. And then FHA said, hey, other people need to buy properties too. They came out with the FHA.
I see. Okay.
Ratios, credit scores, guidelines a little bit more flexible.
Right. Bud's phone number, folks, is 727-798-3888. You want a good mortgage banker, folks? Great guy, great firm. He can walk you through it. Bud, next Friday, it's the Tiger Mortgage update.
I'll be here. I enjoyed it. Everybody have a great weekend. Tom, you too.
Have a great one, Bud. Have a safe one. Thanks so much, man. Look forward to speaking to you next Friday, 3:15. Stay right there, folks. Come right back.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. TFNN has developed a daily programming lineup for traders by traders. We start every trading day live at 8:30 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien hosting the morning market kickoff as he starts the day off by breaking down everything you need to know about what's going on for the trading day ahead. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento takes your calls and questions live on the air for the opening bell as he hosts Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom and Tommy O'Brien host the Bull Bear Trading Hour. At 11 a.m., it's Kevin Hinks and Alex Coffey from TD Ameritrade Network with Fast Market. Basil Chapman at noon with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Steve Rhodes hosts the Trader's Edge at 1 p.m. Dave White with the Power Trading Hour at 2 p.m. And Tom O'Brien closes out the day for the final hour of trading live from 3 till 4. Don't miss a second of our daily programming lineup. Tune in to Tiger TV every trading day live at TFNN.com. Educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow down 98. NASDAQ is off 4. S&P's off 6. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Dave White, as we do each and every Friday at 30 past the hour. Don't forget, folks, Dave has an outstanding show here every trading day, 2 to 3 Eastern Standard Time. Also has a couple of great newsletters, The Path of Least Resistance, as well as the Tech Insider. Real easy to test drive either one of them or both of them. The way you do that, you come over to our website at TFNN. You go right on the newsletters. You're going to see The Path of Least Resistance right there, as well as the Tech Insider. You can hit subscribe. You can get The Path for $119 a month. You can get it for 6 months for $599, which is a savings of $155 or 21%. You can get it for a year, folks, for $985, which is a savings of $443 or 31%, all with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Dave White, what's going on?
Well, it's looked like the Gilded Age has come back 2.0 this week with some of the big men of Silicon Valley throwing their money around. Bezos bought a $170 million house in Los Angeles, and Bill Gates bought a $550 million hydrogen fuel cell boat. So
a hydrogen fuel cell boat. Yeah, that's like, you know, that's like about $1,000 to us or $100 to us. Yeah, right.
Well, you know, he's got $30 billion, so he's not going to matter much. It's a guy who hadn't spent a lot of money.
Right. No, I'm with you. Right.
He is a little different, but I have a feeling that he's probably involved in a couple of these companies because he's really big in alternative energy with putting a couple of billion of his own money into developing smaller, more efficient nuclear power stations in China. And he's in a bunch of other ones, but
yes,
this is basically a fuel cell boat that's based on the submarines that the Scandinavian countries build.
Pretty cool.
So, but just kind of interesting that they're actually letting go of some of that cash this week and keeping the economy up by themselves just about.
No doubt. No doubt.
Facebook is a little red-faced today after being forced to call off its launch date of its dating service in Europe because it failed to give its lead EU data regulators the data demonstrated to perform a legally required assessment of privacy risks. So it doesn't seem like...
So Facebook's hitting the dating system, huh?
Yeah. You know what? My history of watching these companies, every single one of them has turned into a fraud for dating companies. I mean, in companies you wouldn't think of, like Yahoo.
Well, I mean, Match.com's not a fraud.
No, but I think they got their hands caught in the cookie jar doing the same thing that everybody else, because there's a bunch of guys and a very few girls. So what they do is just keep putting on pictures of people that have ever advertised, even if they're not advertising anymore. But every company...
Oh, what are you saying? They just advertise good-looking people?
Yeah, they're not going to respond to anybody. And in fact, a lot of these companies in the past have had kind of bots responding to the gentleman, and that's kind of the thing. They got 10 guys for every woman.
That's hilarious.
And it never works out. But I thought it was very interesting because the first time I saw this really was probably, I'm going to say around 2003 or 4 with the Yahoo, who got its hands caught, and literally all they were doing is finding pictures of women, putting it on, and they had, you know, like probably 10-to-1 men to females, and it just never works out. So there are some things, but I'm just going to say that every single company I've ever seen, eventually you found out that they were gilding the lily with the women that just weren't there. So kind of interesting that. But to me, the bigger thing was that these guys know that they've gotten their hands caught in the cookie jar a whole bunch of times, and they still don't. You know, unless someone catches them, they just keep going on.
Well, so, yeah, I mean, the big tech companies like the banks now, they just pay the fine. It's no big deal, man.
Just pay the fine and go on. But I just thought it was kind of interesting that Facebook, because they're 10 times more in the crosshairs than they're even in the United States. And since we don't get a lot of their news over here, I think it's kind of interesting. But it is, even with as much heat as they take over there, they still didn't live up to the laws, and they know them well. They paid the fines on them a number of times. But I thought that was rather interesting. The other big thing is, or at least in technology this week, was the rollout of a lot of new Samsung's phones and phones based on Samsung's hardware. We got 2 new flip phones, one from Motorola, one from Samsung, and these have the aren't two screens. They are one screen. You open it up, and it has the flip or the foldables that Samsung released a year ago that they kind of messed up on.
Yeah, and what Sam said is 5 cameras in the back of one of them, right? Of that.
That is their new camera. It's got 8K video on it. It'll be $1,500. They've got 3 new regular phones, one at $1,000, one at $1,250, and this 8K one, which I think they call the premium, and they've got some fancy name for it. But it actually is the only camera that cell phone that will do 8K video, although it takes 500 megabytes per minute. But if you want to go out and shoot something by hand in 8K, you can certainly do it. The most interesting thing, the phones are by far better than Apple, the hardware. I mean, the new stuff in it is just, from the processors to the screens and everything, miles and miles ahead. Of course, the big draw for Apple is the ecosystem of the software. But in the flip phones, here's where I think there's probably the big takeaway that I saw, and maybe an impact to Corning, and that is that they have, instead of the plastic that would scratch with the previous unfoldable or foldable, whatever you call it, it's not plastic. They've some way made this kind of foldable glass. So literally, when you fold it up, the Motorola one uses a bit of plastic on it.
Okay.
You can't scratch. But the Samsung version is actually using some kind of liquefied foldable glass that you can't scratch. And I'm thinking, why that may be for this phone, maybe it'll be on all phones, and maybe the Corian, I can't even say it. I want to say Corian, and it's not. The Gorilla Glass.
Yes.
May be a thing of the past. Now, no one was talking about replacing all the phones with this new glass, but if they did, it would be rather amazing. And I think that's still the thing, because the number one killer of phones is broken glass, is not losing it, but dropping it. So if they really have a phone that has foldable glass that really is impact resistant, much more than the Corning glass, I think, what is it,
I know what you're talking about, and I'm having a hard time.
CGC, Corning.
It also, yeah.
Think about it. Corning, GLW. That may be one that is in the crosshairs.
Stay right there, folks. Dave and I are coming right back. We have the Dow Industrials down 75, Nasdaq up 6, S&P's down 3. Dave and I are coming right back, folks.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year, or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year, or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. Dave White, Tom O'Brien. We do appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. We have the Dow right now down 66. NASDAQ is up 5. S&P's up 2.5. And, of course, don't forget, folks, you can get Dave's newsletter real easy. Come over to our website at TFNN. You go into newsletters. You'll see the Path of Least Resistance as well as the Tech Insider. Check either one of them or both of them out. 30 days, absolutely free. 30-day money-back guarantee, rather. What's next, Dave?
One of my heroes has bought a space company. His name is Robert Kringley. He wrote probably the best book of the first 25 years of Silicon Valley called Accidental Empires, and it really draws the lines of how a lot of these guys just kind of lucked into the beginning of the computer craze. But there's a lot of these folks that are doing kind of similar things. But what really piqued my interest here is that they had, or he has now a system that for $250,000 he can put a satellite into orbit. He went and bought a bunch of the F-104 starfighters that were, they started to be made in the late 50s. But they were basically a giant jet engine with some very small wings and weren't much in the way of fighters, but could go Mach 2 pretty quick from Germany to Moscow in like 10 minutes or something. So a real Cold War kind of plane, not really useful for much else. Most of them were retired, but they had one very interesting thing, and that is that you could be at about 40,000 feet, hit the afterburners, and go into a parabolic arc that would take you anywhere from 100 to 110,000 feet. So what this guy's done is bought up all these old planes that he could find, and
where does space start? Like, is it like
about 150,000 feet?
Cool. Okay.
Okay. So
right.
you're kind of getting close to it, but not there. You're through 80% of the atmosphere.
Yep.
By 100,000 feet.
Okay.
But and then the other thing he did is all the space shuttle engines. They made all the propellant for them, and it was just kind of sitting around out there in the desert. So he bought all the propellant for it. So he can strap rockets underneath these. So the idea is this thing's going to get going as fast as it can, do a parabolic arc. When it gets to about 85,000 feet, it's going to launch the missile off the bottom of the plane, and it will go into orbit. But the number is rather spectacular because about the cheapest you can get 40 pounds into orbit right now is about $2.5 million. He says that he will be taking orders for 40 to 80 pound satellites for $250,000 a ride.
And so what happens? They take the satellite, they want to get into space. So he brings it up there, then releases the satellite. Is that how that works? Is that the transportation?
He didn't release the satellite. There's a rocket bolted to the bottom of the the fighter.
Okay.
And he gets up to 80,000 feet, and then he hits that rocket. But since it's up 80,000 feet, you don't need a really big rocket anymore.
I see.
Right?
So the rocket stays up with the satellite, then disperses.
Yeah, it takes it puts the satellite into orbit, and then the plane comes back down and lands normally. But of course, the engines will flame out at about 80 or 90,000 feet, so they have to restart the engines and land, and everything else. So it's kind of interesting. Of course, there's the same thing with the Virgin Mobile folks that have built that giant two-boom plane that are going to hang rockets in the center. They're only going to take it up to 45,000 feet and then just release it at that level. So a lot of people are looking at all the different ways to get into orbit very cheap. But literally...
You're talking about Virgin Galactic, right?
Right.
That's interesting because it's up. I mean, it's up a huge amount today. This thing in the last 3 months has just gone from $2 to $27. Yeah.
Yeah. It is, I don't really know how to trade it, but they are all doing a lot of stuff. What they did was kind of split two kind of 747s and put them together with a space between it.
Okay.
And they can take the rocket up the rocket up to 40,000 feet. They fuel it from inside the bodies of the 747 planes, right? And so it's ready to go, but it's at 45,000 feet. Instead of trying to get going, it's at about 550 miles already, and it's already gotten through, what, 5-6 miles already up.
Wow.
Now, one of the reasons that's important is that rocket motors, and the reason there are stages, is the bell housing where all the exhaust comes out is dependent on how much outside air pressure there is. So they're very inefficient once they get that. But generally, the reason you don't have just one staged orbit and multiple stages is you go higher, the bell of the rocket actually has to be designed differently for the outside air pressure. So if you get up there, you can have a one stage rocket to orbit. But that one, I think they'll be able to launch rockets up to 10,000 pounds. So there is going to be a lot of work for people doing those. Now, the other thing is that if you need to launch one with a regular rocket, you got to wait until the weather's right over in on the East Coast, of Florida.
Yeah, Daytona, right? Yeah, right.
But if you strap one under a jet, you just fly it to where the weather is good and then take it up. So it's not if you really need to get something into orbit today, you really don't have to worry as much about the weather as you do if you've got a static launch pad like you do down here. You don't get the same kind of delays. And if the military needs to get something up, or a GPS satellite's failed or something, you need to get it up today. There is no 6-month waiting list. They could strap the things on, and that's, I think, the big call for Virgin Galactic and a company like this one, which is called CubeSat.
Yeah, it sounds like we're going to have some traffic jams up there.
Yeah,
right?
It is going to be interesting. Also wanted to get this in today because I keep on coming back to what the use of Bitcoin is. The authorities arrested a guy today for basically money laundering with Bitcoin to help all the criminals come out. And as more of this stuff happens, you still hear the price of Bitcoin, but I still have yet to find people that are really using it to buy and sell products every day. We still see people use it on the dark web as an exchange of currency. But I don't know. Have you really run into anybody lately that said they bought something with Bitcoins?
I think it's almost like the aspect of a savings vehicle. You could almost say like gold. People don't buy things with gold either. Do you know what I mean? I mean, yeah. I get the gist that, money laundering, but guess what? The banks are the biggest money laundering out here. So
yeah, but that's their business. They got to keep everybody else out.
Well, no, that's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, but as to the tag money laundering. You know, you don't have to go too much further than the banks on a continual basis. Stay right there, folks. Dave and I come right back. Dow down 44. Nasdaq is up 9. S&Ps are flat. Dave and I come right back.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranked me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Run it right into the close. You got to love it. Dow down 34, Nasdaq up 12, S&P's flat. And so we're looking at what, South Korea and Taiwan, Dave? On the
I just kind of a thought this week, and that is that, of course, everybody's talking about China. South Korea and Taiwan cut off the ability for anybody that had been in China a while ago to come into the country. So you're really not hearing much in the way of this virus affecting them. Of course, Samsung builds literally everything that they do in Korea, in South Korea or Taiwan, because everything they send to China pretty much gets stolen for, intellectual property. So they, South Korea is really kind of an island of its own when it comes in to the phones and the other products they make. Taiwan has a much closer relationship, but they've done fairly good. And of course, Taiwan Semiconductor, symbol TSM, is the big making 80% of the chips that are cost more than $1. So it's they kind of are Taiwan kind of aircraft carrier on its own, South Korea on a peninsula. It's not like they're going to have a lot of people running over the borders for them.
Right.
But they may be in a very good position to actually capitalize on the virus. But I was just kind of thinking about that this week.
Yeah, because the supply lines are going to get hit. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. So Taiwan, bigger issue because they sell a lot of stuff to China. But South Korea, pretty much they like making everything at home. So, Samsung has a nice new product. They make everything in the country, pretty much, or in Taiwan. So may have an ability to maybe leapfrog on Apple and some of the other products that they're involved in.
The Samsung folks are just a monster, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
Listen, Dave, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. You have a great weekend, safe weekend. Look forward to the show next week.
You bet.
Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. And whatever you want in life, folks, visualize it like a nice big motion picture. Step into it, take ownership of it, and fly with it. Everything we need is right inside us, folks. Grab it and have a blast with it. Have a great weekend, safe weekend. Come back and visit us Tuesday morning, 8:30. Tommy kicks us off. Great show.